Good morning. This is Real Talk with Tinamarie. Hi, I'm your host, Tinamarie. Welcome to Real Talk. First of all, I want to say I'm really sorry I haven't been posting lately. I've been emotionally going through a lot here the last few days or few weeks or actually the last few months. So we'll start it off with I've lost like 6 people in less than 3 months, and it's really took a toll on me because I haven't really I think dealt with all of it. The loss of my grandfather, it hits still to this day from time to time. And I know grief has no time, no limit, no anything. And then my mom's boyfriend died, so watching my mom hurt, that hurt me too. I love my mom, I do. We have an estranged relationship, but, I still love her. She's my mother, And then I just found out, a friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, that's been missing for a year, was killed. And not just killed, but killed over something as little as drugs. Now, I was an addict, and I've been in recovery for 6 years. We all have our slips and we all have our falls and, so on and so forth. But the thing about it is, really, is it worth killing somebody over? Is it worth your whole life losing it over something as little as a line or two of some amphetamine or methamphetamine or dope or whatever it is, whatever drug of choice you do? Is it really worth taking somebody's life over? It's crazy. And then to top it all off, not even a week later, a friend of mine that her daughter and my son went to school together. They've grown up together. We've been friends for the last 18 years. And it's a shame she just lost her life. Now, she's the same age as me. And this is what scares me. She dibbled and dabbled in drugs, but nothing severe, nothing big. She had legitimate pain. She had legitimate problems, medical issues. And unfortunately, got opiate dependent. And got cut off because showed addict tendencies. But really, it's an inedible with opiates. It's an inedible tendency. I don't care how old you are, what color you are, anything. I don't care if you're rich, poor, homeless. It does not matter. When it comes to an opiate, honey, when you get hooked, you're hooked. It's like a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother demon. It's a whole nother monkey on your back, because it's not just on your back. It's on your head, your back, your mind, your mental, your psyche, the whole nine. It grabs a hold of you so tight and it ain't gonna let you go, and it fights to let you go. You literally got to set walls up, not boundaries. You have to set walls up to get away from these things, to change your life, to be able to go into recovery. It took me years. Okay, I've been in recovery 6 years, but I was an addict for 15, just on opiates, and started from hurting my back, and then going to the doctor, and then getting cut off, and then to the point you can't find a doctor out here no more. Then you go to dope or whatever it is that you can get just to stop the sickness. Because this ain't just a mental drug that hits. It's not just something in your head that you can say, okay, I'm good today, I ain't gotta get high. No, honey, this is something in your body that tells you, you need to go out and get me something right now, or you're going to be laid here ill, sick, throwing up, going to the bathroom, can't move, hot, cold, sweating, shaking, seizures, whatever it is that you go through on these withdrawals. And it's so bad, you just want to crawl out of your skin and die. You just feel like you just want to roll over and die. And then not only do you physically go through something, you mentally start going through depression and disgust because you hate yourself so bad because you got hooked on this drug and you can't get away from it. Because it was like once it got a hold of you, it said, I'm not letting you go. You're mine now. It was like one of them relationships. If I can't have you, guess what? I ain't letting nobody else have you either. And it's taken so many lives, not just by addiction and overdose, but just from the drugs they put in the opiates. Acetaminophen. This lady, my friend of 18 years, never drank like that a day in her life. She might have got it in here and there, but it was always on a special occasion. No, she gets cirrhosis of the liver from acetaminophen pills, from Tylenol, stuff you take over the counter, stuff they mix in opiates. So here, not only do you have an addiction that you gotta fight, and you gotta fight this sickness to get better, and you gotta set walls and like fortresses up around you when you decide to get clean and you want to be in recovery. Because telling you what, nobody gives a fuck when you change. Nobody cares when you get clean. You know what? Matter of fact, they want to bring you back down, so they want to bring every other thing in front of you. They do, because they don't care. They want you back where you were. They want your money. They want your time. They want your misery because they're still miserable in their addiction. They don't give a fuck about you. So you set these walls and you set these boundaries and you set these things because you don't want to slip and you don't want to go back. And meanwhile, 5-6 years down the road, you find out you're dying. You got cirrhosis of the liver. Your kidneys are shutting. Your heart's there. Or whatever the case may be. You know, and it's crazy. Addiction is nuts. Addiction is like, it's a devil all on its own. It is Satan all on its own, grabbing a hold of us and just saying, I got you. Even if it's for a little bit of time, he's got you. Because this drug not only takes you, places here and there, this drug will take you places you don't want to go. It will take you to do things you don't ever thought you could do. Why? Because it was anything you could to get that sickness out of your head. And see, people don't understand this addiction. They don't understand it unless they go through it, because they look at, I took those pills before. And I didn't bother me. Yeah, but you didn't take them for a long period of time. You might have took them for a few days here and there when you got surgery, but you didn't take them for a long period of time. Now take somebody that's taking them for a long period of time and you take them pills away and you tell me how they feel. Because I'm going to tell you what, it's inedible. You're going to feel ill. You're going to feel like the flu. You're going to feel sick. But if you've taken them pills like everybody else has, and I know everybody else has, because it comes a time, your body gets so immune to it, you got to double up. Because your body is like, this ain't working no more. Or they add a higher milligram and a breakthrough pill. Whatever it is, it's still more on you they're adding. So the more they add, the worse it gets. The worse it gets, the worse you do. It's a pattern. It is a pattern. It is inedible. And it is a shame. And it's fucked up that the society has gotten that bad. Now, just now, they're starting to wake up and say, hey, I'm going to help you instead of lock you up. That's all well and good. I'm glad. Better late than never. But for the ones out here, we've got to set boundaries. We've got to set things. We've got to set goals. We've got to be determined. And honey, we've got to look out for each other, because you know what? If us addicts don't look out for each other, ain't nobody else going to. I'm going to tell you that one from the gate. Because when somebody hears addict, the first thing that comes to mind, oh my God, they're thieves, they're junkies, they're bad. Oh, I hate them. They're just junkies. They're just no good. They need to fall off the face of the earth. You know what? We might have been junkies, but we're not junkies now. We're in recovery and we're people. We have feelings too. We didn't wake up one day and say, fuck, I want to do heroin today. I want to be a fucking addict. I want to waste 15 years of my life with a drug. I want to lose everything and anything, that I have and what I've gotten. I want to lose the respect that I built with people, the trust that I built with people, the love that I lost with people. How about this? How about the lives that we've lost with this addiction? Trust, ain't none of us woke up and said, hell, I want to be an addict today. None of us. But something in our life pushed us to it. Something in our life, triggered. And then when you got hurt and you got, that drug that opened up that euphoria, that euphoric feeling that, oh my God, what is this? It was like a kid in a candy store for me. It was like, oh shit, I can move. I got energy. Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm Supergirl. But that Supergirl got me, close to 20 years of hell. Of hell, straight hell. And like, I've had people come to me and be like, have you ever had somebody come to you and be like, oh, if you keep living the life you live, you're never going to have nothing. I had a couple people tell me that. But then I had a couple people eat their words, because sometimes karma has a way of biting you in the ass when you say shit like that. And when the shoe goes on the other foot, then they start opening their eyes and realizing it. But I think God puts them people in that perspective so they can open their eyes and realize, you know what, all that judgment that you judged on that one person, look what it is now. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to all of us. Nobody is, covered or in a bubble, a plastic bubble away from addiction. Addiction hits in families everywhere. It's somewhere. Somebody in this world has a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a dad, somebody with an addiction, somebody that can relate, or even themselves that are listening right now. You might be able to relate because you have an addiction. But a lot of people say, oh, all you need is help. Oh, it's easy. No, it's not. No, it ain't. And the first person that says that tells you that, they're a fucking liar, because they ain't never been through it and they don't fucking know what they're talking about. But I will say this. You're not going to get help until you want it for yourself. Don't want it for your kids. Don't want it for your mom. Don't want it for your dad. Don't want it for this one or that one. Do it for yourself. Because in the long run, you're going to love it. I've been in recovery 6 years. I'm finally, after 6 years, I've been on maintenance with methadone. I'm finally detoxing down, and you know what? I feel great about it. I do have help. I'm also a cannabis patient, and I also work in the industry. So I do know a lot about cannabis and the aspects of it and the treatments of it and the pros and cons of it too. Hell, but you know what? Whatever works to help you get to where you need to be, if it's cannabis, if it's yoga, if it's exercising, if it's meditating, if it's spell working, I don't care what it is. If that's what works for you, use it. Do whatever it is you gotta do to get to where you need to be, to where you're happy with yourself. Like I'm saying, I lost a lot of people in a short period of time. Some was to an addiction, and some not. Some was the old age, and they've lived their life. And the ones that I lost that lived their life, man, it was great to watch them live their life, because you know what? They've made it so long, and they've done so many accomplishments, and I look up to them people. I admire them people, because you know what? They made it through rough times, good times, bad times, stuck it out. I mean, shoot, my grandparents were married 65 years. Can you imagine? 65 years with the same person. Like, wow. But yo, congratulations on that. That is fucking what's up. That's awesome, and I love it. But still, everybody out there's got a thing. To anybody out there with an addiction, and you're suffering from addiction but you want help, I'm open anytime, any day. Call me. I'll help you. I'll show you where you need to get help, or we'll research it where I can find where you need to get help in your town. But man, if I can save one life, one life's better than none. Anybody suffer from addiction, I know what you're going through. I've been there. Trust, I've been there. I've walked in your shoes. I know what it feels like. I know how it is. I know what it's like to have people turn their back on you and not want shit to do with you because of the addiction. But that does not make you the person you are because you have an addiction.